I was just like, it was like so surreal.
And after that, my hands were just numb. Everything
And
was
then when
so
she
foggy
said,
for me. At that point, things progressed really, really fast, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, because this was like really intense.
yeah, at that point, like, it's quick. Everything was super fast. I don't even remember. I didn't even take in that we had ended so late.
So she wrote down 10:35 as the start of labor. And we kept going through, like, we kept changing what I was doing, right? Throughout after that. I
Yeah.
remember, like, I was on the toilet. Bless you! We did squats. You were helping me with squats. Did I do anything on the bed?
Yeah.
I was on the bed. Did I go back in the water?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all
And
kind of a
then-
blur, right?
Yeah. So then again, I can take from here.
Mhm.
When we started doing the different positions, she said, the midwife was like, "Oh, things are progressing quickly. Nelson, if you want to go in with Natasha into the pool, now's the time," because she thought like things were gonna happen right then and there, like maybe an hour after 10:30, after you did all those exercises, after you had the TENS machine and you was doing, you were on the bed, and then I went in with you into the pool.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to deliver in the pool.
That's what
That
I was
was the
gonna
whole
say,
part
yeah.
of the plan.
The kind of the plan, but like you can't really plan it. But the plan was to deliver in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I went into the pool with her, that's when your sac came out.
Yeah. Okay, I can
What's
talk
it
about
called?
that.
Yeah,
It
got
is
it,
the
got
sac. Yeah, yeah. So basically, I was doing a couple of contractions in the pool. Was this while you were in with me, or this was before you were in with me?
No, this is while I was in with you.
I think we broke the sac while you were in.
Exactly, I was in with you.
Yeah, but it came out before that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
No, so I think I was in with you before. Then it came out,
Oh.
and then seen it, and then I went in with you again.
Okay. So
Because
this
I
is.
remember going in twice, and the first time,
Oh, okay.
nothing
Okay.
happened. You were just pushing, and then
Oh, yeah, because you changed your clothes.
Exactly.
I
I didn't
remember.
change my clothes.
Oh, you didn't.
No, I just
Okay.
dried myself up, and then I
Oh.
had to get you outside of the pool into a different position, and then we went back into the pool,
Okay.
and then that's when or you went back into the pool. I helped you, and then the sac came out,
Okay.
and then I saw the sac come out, and then I went into the pool with you,
So this
and
is.
then I was holding you while you were trying to do what you need to do. The midwife said some other stuff before that you're gonna mention.
Yeah, so I think that you had come out of the pool. You were probably drying yourself off because I remember that you weren't here at this time.
Yeah.
That just like literally for 2 minutes. I was in the pool still. I think you had just gotten out, and I said, and I just said out loud, like I feel so nauseous, and I had been feeling
Oh
nauseous.
yes, that's how I knew I was outside of the pool
Mhm.
because I was feeding you.
Yes, you
And then
gave me
that
juice.
happened. Exactly.
She asked
exactly.
if you had juice, so you gave me juice, and I said I feel so nauseous, but I
Yes,
feel
yes,
nauseous. This is
yes.
just something
I
for
remember
me.
now.
Yeah, for me, I feel nauseous. Like when I get sick and stuff, I will feel nauseous, but I won't throw up, and I will feel very nauseous, but just I won't throw up. Same thing happened in the beginning of pregnancy. I felt a lot of nausea for morning sickness, but I didn't actually throw up. So when I said I feel nauseous, I like didn't think that I was gonna throw up, and the midwife said to you to get a bowl for me. So he went to get a bowl, and in my mind I was like, oh, we don't need a bowl because I feel nauseous all the time and I never throw up. And as soon as you gave me the bowl, I threw up. But before that,
phew.
yeah, before that, basically she said, get a bowl, and she said if you throw up, that pressure on your pelvic floor at this point is usually enough to break your water. So,
But instead, something else happened.
yes, something very different happened.
Yeah.
And I threw up, and my water did not break. And I think that she knew that because she saw nothing changed in the pool.
Water, yeah.
Yeah. So my water didn't break, but I felt something. And so as soon as I threw up, I don't know, I said, I feel something.
Yeah.
She went and she checked, and she said my sac was bulging, that it didn't break.
Yes.
So basically, the whole sac itself started coming out, but it hadn't broken. And later she said that it was because the membranes were very strong.
Very strong and healthy, yeah.
Yeah. So.
She said it then and there.
Yeah. Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
then
then she gave you the option to break it yourself.
yeah.
And then I went in to help you
Well, before
lift
that,
you up.
she said that he could be born in the sac.
Oh, okay.
because that's something that could happen. It's very rare, but she was like, we could just leave it like that. He could be born in the sack, or she could break it, or I could break it. She offered me to break it, and you got back in the pool with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried to break it, and I couldn't. I literally like was using my nails and trying to break it and wouldn't break. But I don't think that I told you or her that I was trying.
No, you did.
I did? Okay.
Yeah.
And
we saw you trying.
Okay, so
at that point she was there, like hands on.
I tried to break it. It didn't break. And then I think she had offered me again, like, do you want to break the sack? And I said I tried. And then she said that she could do it.
Yes.
So I think she tried like 3 times.
Yes.
From what I felt.
She took like a little hook on a stick and she tried to break it like 3 times, and she was like really surprised of how strong and healthy it was.
Oh, like you saw the bulging thing?
Correct.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I saw it like when you said that something was out there and then she checked, I saw it too because I was on the outside. That's when I came out the first time.
Everything
and
was
then when
so
she
foggy
said,
for me.
Yeah, that's why I'm here now for this part. So that's why when she said you can try to break it, then I went in with you because then she said things are going to progress now. So like this is another time to go in.
And I tried pushing.
You tried pushing?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And then that's what happened. So you threw up, the sac came out but didn't burst. And then she said, well, you said that the baby could be born in there, but that if we break it ourselves, then it's going to fast track everything.
So I tried to push in the pool for a while, and then we started having to change positions. So I think we did like a little bit of pushing in the pool, a little bit of pushing in different places.
Yeah, and you wanted to change positions because that was the most comfortable for you. You wanted to keep moving.
Mm-hmm. And I think she also...
She recommended the positions,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
So she would suggest something, a position, and then we'd try it, and then she'd say, I'd say like I'm done after like 1 or 2 contractions, and then she would come and say, well, maybe you could do 1 or 2 more, and I'd be like, okay, fine.
She was very soft and nice with that, and she was very encouraging.
Yeah.
That like she knew that you can do it, even though you were like in a good amount of pressure that you didn't want to, but she knew that you could do it and that it will help.
I was fully dilated at 1:30 in the morning. And then I started pushing when I was fully dilated at 1:30. So she didn't actually check that I was fully dilated, but she said that she could tell based on what my body was doing. She just knew, like I think my body just started pushing and she could tell.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't want to keep doing that because then that would put your body under stress and not make you want to deliver.
The cervical checks.
Yeah. So she didn't want to do that. She only did it once to make sure that things were progressing.
And I think she could tell like I really didn't like it.
Yeah. And before, I think you said it earlier too, that when she said, I think you're this, and then she checked, she was like, yeah, you're that.
She knew, she could tell.
Like 5 or 6 inches.
She's very,
centimeters.
very, I don't know if we're very experienced, but she like knew what she was doing.
I feel like experienced and knowledgeable.
Must have been, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For her to call everything.
Yeah, and
before
she didn't even touch me. Like she just knew.
Exactly.
So I was fully dilated at 1:30 in the morning, and I started pushing right away. And I think I pushed for a long time. Well, not a long time, like a couple hours. It didn't actually feel that long for me. Mm-hmm. And I tried all the different positions, and then she said if I wanted to get back in the pool.
Mm-hmm. To deliver, because that was part of the plan, so she wanted to stick to the plan and like respect it.
I think I was a little resistant, like...
You didn't want to go back. You weren't
not just in the pool.
You just didn't want to go back.
I think I was a little resistant before this. I think I was a little resistant to pushing because I kept saying like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I don't want to sit on the toilet anymore, or I don't want to sit in a squat anymore. And she would say like, well, try 2 more. So I think that I was a little resistant to pushing, but in the end, like later on, we found out that's because I didn't know how to push. Mm-hmm. And so that was when she came to me and she said, I remember she said, if you're in the pushing stage for 3 hours, we're required to take you to the hospital.
Yeah, because then you'll be exhausted.
Yeah, you're considered in exhaustion. So I want you to, so I don't want you to go to the hospital. So we have an hour left to get this baby out. Mm-hmm. And so that was like the motivation to like keep doing the positions that I didn't necessarily want to stay in, to like stay in them a little longer and push a little harder.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what it was. Is like I wasn't pushing, like really pushing with force, you know. I was just kind of like letting things go, letting my body push. And she was like, you need to push because we've been doing this a while and you're going to hit a state of exhaustion. And then I think she offered the pool.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't really want to be in the pool because I actually was getting exhausted. And I didn't feel capable of being upright.
Mm-hmm.
To put all that force into the pushing and be upright, I didn't think I could do that. I had to take all of my energy and put it towards pushing. So I ended up on the bed.
So, just to let everyone know that, like, if you think you've been through some hard stuff in life, which you probably have, and we all have, this, like, labor process and the birth of a child is going to be one of the hardest things that you experience, just because of the pressure that you were in, and then just being on the outside of that, and then giving the counter pressure, and then going through all this was just tough to be like there, not be able to do anything other than counter pressure and help her move around.
It was like a intense sense of helplessness.
Yeah.
You know what actually happened though for my arms? It was when I was in that squat position and you had your arms under my armpits. I had no weight on my legs, and so all my weight was in my armpits where you were holding.
Pinched the nerves.
I think I pinched. Yeah, I think I pinched a nerve there, and I was pushing really hard when I was in that position.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for
like
sure.
Bailey was like trying to help me and stuff, and like she put like the wet rag to try and relieve pressure and to try and make sure I wasn't tearing.
Yeah.
So that's where I remember she was putting the wet rag and stuff, and I think that was when I got a pinched nerve, and after that my hands were just numb.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I was in the stranded beetle position, I was supposed to be holding up my legs, and I just couldn't move my arms. Yeah, so we did forget to mention that she had called the other midwife. So it was sometime during the pushing phase, or before the pushing phase?
I think after, like, close to when the sac popped.
Oh, okay.
Around that
yeah,
time.
because she knew that.
Because that was it. Yeah.
So she called the other midwife, and then she came. So at this point, we had, by 1:30, when I was pushing, we had 2 midwives present in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you said that I kept looking at the other midwife, and I remember that I kept looking at her, and I think you're right that, like, I was, like, so in myself that I kept forgetting that there was another person there, and so I kept looking around and then being like, oh, there's another person.
And you had met her previously, like, in a class for the midwifery, so you knew who she was, but then you didn't remember that she had come.
Yeah. Because I didn't know what I was doing, so I was just kind of like pushing. And they say, like, I don't know if I told you this, but like people tend to say, and even professionals, that you have to push like you're pooping. And I don't think that that's an appropriate description of it. It is nothing like a poop. And so I'm pushing, and I'm just like bearing down and pushing, and she knew, like, I'm not pushing the right way. And like you said, she put her hands and she put pressure, and she said, where you feel my pressure, push right there. And as soon as she did that, like, I think that's when he pushed through.
Over
and
the hill.
He wasn't rocking back anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then at that point is when I can see Bailey was like, oh, look, Nelson, come look. And then, like, I went to look while I was holding Natasha's leg, and she was like, do you see their head? And then I'm like, oh, all I saw was just black hair. It was, like, so surreal. I'm never gonna forget that for sure.
For me, we got to that point. I remember she told you, she was like, come see.
And then I told you, babe, you're almost there.
Yeah.
I can see them.
And you said there's so much hair, right?
Yeah, I said there's so much hair, yeah.
You said there's so much hair. And
no, that was later on, but continue again.
Okay, so I don't know if you have anything to say before this, but from my perspective, she asked you about that, and then I think at that point, she said if you wanted to catch the baby.
Yeah.
And then you asked me if that was okay, and I said, I want you next to me.
Yeah.
So maybe next time, like, I will have already gone through the experience and you can catch the baby, but, like, we did plan for him to catch the baby, but in that moment, I just felt, especially because, like, my arms were feeling numb and I was so exhausted, I felt like I needed him closer to me at that time.
Which is all good.
Yeah. So then, we kept pushing with every contraction. So I kept pushing with every contraction, and, like, it got really intense, like, you guys were all, like, really coaching me and really, like, supporting me verbally and, like, physically literally holding my legs up. And I remember, like, just all these voices coming at me, just, like, saying positive things and, like, keep pushing, you can do it, the baby's almost here. And I just kept bearing down and pushing, and then I got to the point, like, the whole time I didn't feel pain, and then all of a sudden,
before that, was it I I think it was 2 times where when I saw his head come through, she said, "Do you want to feel?" Or was when it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. That's
That's
the last time.
She asked me if I wanted to touch his head, but my hands were numb, so I couldn't. And she asked me if I wanted a mirror, and I was like, I do not have time for somebody to go find a mirror right now, because we didn't have one prepared. But maybe next time.
And the reason why she said that is so that she can get motivation to know that she's almost there.
Yeah.
And so she can continue pushing.
I could feel.
No, yeah, I know.
I could feel.
So we were like coaching you through, and then we were like, push, you got this, keep going.
I heard all those positive voices surrounding me.
And I was lifting her leg up and her head up too, because she had to arch her head to make sure that she was putting all the pressure in her abdominals to push up.
Yeah, you guys were like basically supporting my body, so all like
all you could do was push, and you were so tired at that point.
Exactly. So I took all of my energy and I put it into pushing.
Yeah.
And I remember
crazy.
I remember pushing, and you guys were like push, and that moment came, and I was like, I can't. And like, I haven't said anything. I've just been pushing, and because I'm bearing down, I'm not vocalizing anymore. So I was bearing down, not saying anything. You guys are all giving me this positive energy and all these like affirmations.
And then we were saying push because we could see crowning.
Yeah.
We were saying, you're almost there, you're almost there. Go.
So I got to that point, and the whole time I was all good. Yeah, this was him, this was you. And I was like, I can't. And you guys are all like, you can, you're so close, you're almost there. And the next thing I said was, it burns. And Bailey was like, that's because he's here. One more big push. And then I pushed, and then his head came.
And then Bailey was like, stop.
Yes.
Stop. And then we were all like, stop.
I couldn't hear anything. Yeah, and everybody was
and then we were like, stop. And she was like, push it. She was like, she didn't say this, but like, I can imagine like, you guys told me to push.
Yeah, that's me. I was like, you guys told me to push, I'm pushing.
We were there like 5 minutes straight, push. And then like, immediately right after, you said that, and then she said, because their heads out, and then we were like, and then she said, stop. And then we were like, stop, babe, stop. And then why?
I think it's because if I had pushed his whole body
in
out,
one burst?
In one push, yeah, it would have been too intense and I would have caused more damage. So basically, the midwife had been, this whole time, she's been amazing. She was very hands-off, and then when she needed to be hands-on, she was, and she did everything she could to kind of protect me from having any kind of damage. So that was the stretching that she was doing, the telling me where to push. And as soon as his head came out, she told me to stop, take a breath, and then with the next contraction, I would push his body out.
Yeah.
But I think that you had quite an experience with the head.
Yeah, so he was looking down at the bed, and all you see is just the back of his head, all black hair, and he's just looking. He's not looking, because I can't see if he was looking or not, but he was just boom. And I was just like, you zoom in on this part. But I was like, whoa. But like, my head was in the game. So once Bailey was like, all right, we're gonna do this on your next contraction. And then the reason why is because it was tight on his body and on his neck and his head. So she needed to push him out on the next one, because then if not, it probably would have hurt him.
Yeah, I think I didn't really know what was going on at this point, but I think she had told you that he's in distress.
Yes.
And that we couldn't like do several contractions to get his body out, like we needed to get his body out in the next one.
Yeah.
Bailey, so swift. Our midwife is so swift. His head came out, push, his body comes out, she takes him, she flips him around, she puts him right on my belly.
So quick.
Like seamless.
Quickly and smoothly.
Yep. He didn't even cry.
He didn't even say anything.
He was so quiet.
And then because we didn't know the gender of our baby, and we didn't want to know, then I went and I looked, and then I told you, it's a boy.
Yeah, and I said, it's a boy.
Yeah.
And I had him on me. And
he crawled.
He crawled, yeah. So he did the breast crawl. He was placed on my belly, and he crawled up to my chest.
Yeah, you did your stuff.
Yeah. He didn't feed right away because it was a long labor. We were all tired, including him. And yeah, I remember that you said it's a boy. I said it's a boy. And he was just hanging out with us, and he was still attached to the cord, and the placenta still had not been birthed. And then you hit cord. How was that?
We waited for the blood to go back in, So the cord was white, and then she clamped it, and then I cut it. It was very, very, very tough. I put some force into it.
After you cut the cord, one of the midwives came over and just like was like rubbing his back and drying him off, and then she asked if she could pick him up because she needed to.
Weigh him?
No, she just needed to check his cry.
Oh yeah.
So so he could clear his lungs because he had been pretty quiet. Like he was alert and moving, but
his eyes are open.
Yeah, he just needed to cry to make sure his lungs were clear. So she picked him up. She just turned him over gently and put him back on me, and he just went one cry.
Yeah.
One quick cry. As soon as he got back on to me, he was quiet again.
Yeah.
And he was just kind of like looking around the room, our bedroom.
Mm-hmm. And I was just looking into his eyes the whole time, ever since he got out.
And he stayed with me for a while, and then he was trying to latch, and he did, and he fed for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, they did clean up everything else. The placenta came while he was on me.
Mm-hmm.
I birthed the placenta. That was quite a sensation.
Yeah.
The only way I could describe it is
seriously. That's sort of what it sounded like too.
That's what it felt like, and it was very warm. It was like very, very warm.
It looked like a blood clot, but
huge.
But huge, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna look differently, but no.
Because you'd think that it would come out as a tough organ, but it comes out like a very soft organ.
Yeah, I thought it was like that, exactly.
Yeah, it's a very soft organ, kind of folds up into itself, I think.
And then the midwife went, "This is your placenta."
She did?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It was the first thing that came out.
Oh wow.
And then after they kept pushing on her belly to make sure any of the blood clots came out, and then they were put it on a scale, and then put the other one on a scale to make sure that she didn't lose enough blood. Yeah, to then have to be rushed to the hospital or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
So after that,
you did take the
they gave me oxytocin to help with the placenta.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So then, after he was on me for a while and he fed, and then I think that they did I needed a few stitches. So I had one 2nd-degree tear, and I needed stitches. So while the baby was still on me, and I still had all those happy hormones, they took care of the stitches. And after I had been with the baby for a while, they took the baby and gave him to you. I don't know how long that I was with the baby. Oh, we didn't even say. He was born at 3:38 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And the placenta was born. The placenta came out at 3:50. Yeah, actually they noted that too.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Rupture of membranes happened at 1:07 a.m. So that's when my water broke. 1:07 a.m. So yeah, they took the baby from me and they gave him to you, and I
cried.
Yeah. I was gonna tell. Okay, go ahead. You tell your stuff, and then I'll tell mine.
No, I just started crying. We were just both. I was just holding him, looking at him, smiling.
Yeah.
And they just went about their business. They walked you to the bathroom to go use the bathroom. Thanks. Hey, my love.
She can love on him. Hair's looking crazy. All this hair he was born with.
Looking crazy.
Yeah,
it's looking good.
He's looking good. He's looking really nice and healthy. So after that, when you had the baby, they helped me to get to the bathroom, and they helped to clean me up. They helped to get me set up with pads for the bleeding. And they just they took such good care of me, and they took such good care of all of us.
Yeah.
And then we just stayed in bed. I mean, they helped me get dressed, and I had the baby again. And then, I don't know, you maybe helped them with a couple of things, just to show them around. And then you came back, and it was just the 3 of us.
Yeah, they just needed to know where the washer was, and that's it.
Yeah, so, yeah, right?
Yeah.
So
And they cleaned everything.
They left us, the 3 of us, to just hang out in bed and just, get to know each other a little bit and bond. And they cleaned up pretty much everything. They threw in a load of laundry. They took care of all the mess that was left from the birth. And then they kind of just were all right, guys, take care.
See you in 3 days for a checkup.
Yeah, they did come back in 3 days to
Maybe
check
like
on.
the
No,
next
24
day.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they came back in 24 hours to check on us, but that was it. And then they left at what time you think?
Like 5:30 in the morning. 5:15 maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't say here, but probably like around
I think
between
5:30 or
5 and 6.
6. Yeah.
Between 5 and 6 in the morning they left. And they left us like in really good shape. I mean, we had nothing to worry about for the house, and we just spent the next, I don't even know how many hours, we just didn't get up from the bed.
Yeah.
And just the three of us stayed in bed right after that.
Yeah. And then we just slept.
Yeah, we slept. We stayed up for a long time just staring at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then we slept for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot to mention they made you feed me right after.
Yeah.
But that was it. And then a little baby boy was born.
It's our birth story.
Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, so yeah. That's a good one. Articulate. It says a lot. Oh my goodness. So, all in all, what did you think of the experience?
Amazing. Truly miraculous, and truly something that I hope every dad goes through so that they can see and be there for the woman, because it's definitely something that's tough on both of the parents, but together it's like it's worth it.
I thought it was fantastic. I had a great time. It was intense, it was challenging, it was crazy, it was unexpected, and it was so wonderful. And I'm like excited to do it again.
Same.
Okay, thank you guys for watching our birth story. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing with us in this. And I'll see you in the next one.
Peace.